for a couple of years now, and quite fortunately for us, is the director of the 40 to None Project. Again, as I mentioned for you, all of you were here last night, we had many great dreams when we started the 40 to None Project, and most of those dreams have become a reality because of Jema's leadership. She is, as I said again, in my mind, the best adult advocate we could really ask for LGBT homeless youth in this country. So please join me in welcoming Jema Shelton to the stage.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to continue moving this day forward. So many of you in this room have heard me talk about LGBT youth homelessness before. In fact, many of you may have actually already seen these slides about the disproportionate representation of LGBT youth in the population of youth experiencing homelessness, the most frequently reported reasons for their homelessness, and the fact that service providers all over the country are reporting an increase in the number of young people showing up for services that identify as LGBT, particularly that identify as transgender. So my objective in these first few minutes I have your attention this morning is to give you an overview of the issue. And I just did that with those couple of slides. There are a lot of young people. Their reasons for their homelessness, housing instability are varied, and they're showing up for help. So what I want to talk about now is why we're really here. Why I'm really here. I'm here because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that 8 years after the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force released their groundbreaking report calling LGBT youth homelessness an epidemic, that we're still having the same conversations. That LGBT young people in communities around the country still don't have access to services that respect, much less affirm who they are. And that even though they make up to 40% of youth experiencing homelessness, LGBT young people are not yet protected in the Runaway Homeless Youth Act. I'm also here because this work matters. Because Brittany, Jojo, Star, Austin, Angelica, Bianca, Chris, William, and the thousands of other LGBT young people surviving today without a home matter. But they might not think that they do. I know I didn't. When I came out and was kicked out and spent the next few years struggling to find stability, finding myself on someone else's couch again, I didn't think that I mattered. So it's time we started to talk about this. Because I remember what that feels like. It's time we started to talk about this in a deeper way, so that we're not only talking about family rejection, but we're also talking about the way certain segments of our society sanction it. How about we talk about the way that our systems sometimes fail LGBT youth? And let's talk about poverty. And let's talk about the way youth of color are overrepresented. And how about we talk about the way that institutionalized oppression makes it incredibly difficult for a young person of transgender experience to get a job, to move through our RHY programs, to gain equal access, and to get an equal shot at the future they deserve. And then let's do more than talk. Let's do something. The more I speak about my own experiences, the more people working in homeless services and in the LGBT movement confide in me about their similar experiences. And it occurs to me that when we talk about homelessness and LGBT youth homelessness, particularly within the LGBT movement, we don't always talk about how this issue impacts us personally. We don't acknowledge that many of our current LGBT movement leaders experienced homelessness, were kicked out or pushed out of their homes. And in so doing, we create an us-them dynamic. We distance ourselves from the reality of our own experiences, and we foreclose opportunities for connection between current movement leaders and future movement leaders, the LGBT young people who may be struggling with homelessness right now. And this is not an us-them issue. Thank you. It took me a really long time to start to talk about my own experiences, because I spent so much time trying to make that part of my life not matter, that I didn't think about how it could really matter and how it could really impact people day to day. I don't want us to talk about helping these kids. I don't want us to create an us-them dynamic. Because you know what? I'm not alone, and neither are the young people that are in this situation right now. There's Sassafras Lowry, nationally recognized advocate and author. There's our very own Twiggy Garcon, the newest member of the True Colors Fund team. There's Morgan Keenan, leading the Missouri GSA network. Shahira Hyatt, director of the California Homeless Youth Project. The young people you saw perform this morning, Zizi, Cariel, Lola. There's also Daniela, Trey, and Ben, who you're going to hear from today. Everyone in this room changes lives. Look around. This is a room full of rock stars. You're going to hear some amazing people talk today, and by the time you leave here, you're going to have a concrete plan for moving this work forward in your home communities. Today, we are changing the conversation, we are building a movement, and we're going to end LGBT youth homelessness. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you.